June 2007. The Army descends on remote communities in the Northern Territory.
What matters more, the constitutional niceties or the care and protection of young children?
And life for Aboriginal people here changed forever.
It was beautiful before. Everything was just calm, and now when these inventions came in and it just ruined everything and just spoiled everything.
In the town camp of Ilpeye Ilpeye on the outskirts of Alice Springs, locals say things improved when the restrictions were lifted last year.
People got a bit more freedom to, do what they want as they please in a way, and not restricted to the little things in life, like, being human, basically.
And so if they move, you move with them, but you're not jabbing.
The Howard government's measures included suspending the Racial Discrimination Act, announcing mandatory health checks on children, and a ban on alcohol, gambling and pornography.
Why we get treated like meant to be First Nations people, and we're getting treated like, we're second-class citizens.
Alice Springs Mayor Matt Patterson was 16 years old when the intervention happened.
Well, I think some people who've lived through it, it was a dramatic impact on their life. And I think it was probably delivered wrong. I think there are some positive impacts throughout that we've seen flow on.
He says some of the measures implemented during the intervention are still needed in Alice Springs.
We're getting a message from the East Coast that it's not good, people don't want that, but people in communities here, some people really do want the basics card. So I think it is about talking to those people that are affected rather than talking to me.
The Howard government's emergency response was supposed to last 5 years. It ended in July 2022, some 15 years later. The teenagers here in Alice Springs are the babies and the toddlers of the intervention. They've lived under those hardline controls for almost their whole lives. Amani Francois is in Year 12, and outside school hours, she helps young people struggling with drug and alcohol problems.
It's hard because when you're also Aboriginal and you live in Alice Springs, you get painted with the same brush, and it's a negative stereotype that no one can escape, even if you're going to the richest private school in Alice Springs. I still try and break away from that stereotype every day.
Amani says the people committing crimes are crying out for help.
It's really hard to see them, just have these outrages and outbursts and people just absolutely thinking they're monsters when they're all of 12.
Mayor Matt Patterson says there isn't enough for young people to do in Alice and surrounding communities. He says Alice Springs needs more resources and more police officers.
To do some proactive policing. Domestic violence levels are ridiculously high, and when we see domestic violence, it takes our police, as it rightfully should, it takes our police off the road, and therefore they aren't going out and doing their proactive policing. And so we need more resources.
One of the few spaces dedicated to young people in Alice Springs is the Gap Youth and Community Centre.
I am so proud of our staff because every single day they walk beside these young people, they support them, they walk beside them, and they give them a voice. And that's not easy when there's so much negativity going around.
The Gap offers a drop-in service, hip-hop workshops and outreach services for kids disengaged from school or at risk of homelessness. Many of the Gap's staff are former so-called Gappies that would visit the service as kids.
I hope nothing but the best for these young people because seeing that the backgrounds that they come through is much more complex from the Western society.
For some in Alice, a lot hinges on the referendum result on October 14.
It'll change everything because it'll brighten up everything around the communities and around towns and lighten the kids up, give them brighter joys and, give them something that can, what they can do to take them out bush or teach them, something. Instead of what they've been doing in town, there's nothing here for them.
Amani was just 3 when the intervention happened. She'll also be voting yes for an Indigenous voice to Parliament.
There's a lot of things saying that, it's divisive, but the thing is, Australia has been divisive, and it is divisive, and we're currently living in the no vote already. I feel like there is a change coming, and I feel like we can't change the past, we can only impact the future.